Weihrauch HW30 S with Daviesbuilt Gunstocks stock. Servus, thanks for dropping in. Today I want to show you something really special. I guess everybody knows this gun, but with this modification there's only a single one in the world. Today I'll show you the Weihrauch HW30 S with a Daviesbuilt Gunstocks stock. My longtime followers already know quite a few of my HW30S videos. I can't hide it. I'm a big fan of this gun and I'll tell you now why that's the case. In general, the HW30S is a very light gun and the price is very attractive. For 230 to 250 euro you get a high quality air rifle made in Germany that leaves a ton of options for tuning and modifications. The gun is fun to shoot right out of the box. The relation of power and weight is just perfect. It is very compact and is often called a rifle for the youngsters, but I have to disagree here. Of course, younger and smaller shooters can handle this gun easier. It weighs only 2.5 kilogram, and it is compact and easy to cock. But I know a lot of grown-ups, even of the heavier build, that love shooting this rifle. I'm 1.9 meters or 6'2" tall, and I have to admit the rifle is a bit short for me. You have to place it pretty high if you want to shoot with a scope. The cheek piece may be not perfect for all shooters, so yes, you have to compromise. Still, it is one of my favorites, even completely unmodded, and I'm willing to bend myself a bit to be able to shoot this rifle. As I see it, this 250 euro gun can keep up with even the most expensive break barrel guns. The precision is high enough for competitive shooting. The advantage of larger rifles is that, for example, you often have an adaptable cheek piece, an adaptable butt plate, or at least a larger stock with a higher cheek piece. This way you don't have to bend yourself to get in position and you can fully concentrate on your competition. I was able to prove in different fun competitions that the power and precision can keep up with other larger rifles. So many shooters, I'd say almost half of them, were using an HW30S, from young to old, from small to large, and in the end a lot of top positions on the scoreboard were taken by HW30 shooters. I said to myself, why not give this rifle a different stock? That makes shooting it more comfortable, even with my size. Since I am in different Facebook groups and forums half of the day, I researched a while to find out if there's a stock manufacturer that already has built custom stocks for other shooters. And that's when I found a real shooting star of the gunstock builders. I'm sure we'll hear of him a lot over the next 20 years. Well, I hope he keeps doing this that long and even longer. His name is Tom Davies from Daviesbuilt Gunstocks. We both connected right away and I told him about my project of shooting field target and hunter field target with my HW30 S and that I need an adapted stock for it. We exchanged a ton of mails, pictures and drawings until we ended up with the stock you can see here right now. That's nothing to praise me for. He did all the work. I basically just said what my requirements for the stock are. The implementation happened on his end and you can see the result here. The hardest part was waiting. I think at that time I waited 6 months until it was my turn because it was completely booked up. Today the waiting time is over 12 months. What I'm saying is, if you want to customize stock, start planning in time and bring a little more patience than I have because it's gonna take some time until it's your turn. That's the way it is. Good craftsmen are in great demand. You can use the time and push your ideas even further, think everything through in detail, find the right wood type, optimize the stock shape, and choose the best butt plate. The possibilities are endless, basically. A lot of people might say now, why should I spend so much money for an already complete gun just to change it a bit? I know the Weihrauch rifles are close to perfection, but still I always want to keep changing, personalizing and optimizing it for my specific needs. And that's why I modified this gun. You can see here the nickel-plated Weihrauch HW30 S system. The S is super important. It means that the Weihrauch match trigger record is built in. Well, it was built in. The setback trigger shows you I am using an AirGhandi tuning trigger now. You can find the trigger as well as the AirGhandi tuning kit that's also built in my shop jabolo.de. What does the tuning trigger do? It lowers the trigger weight from the Weihrauch standard of 500 to 600 gram to something around 150 to 200 gram. You can't say the exact number. Every AirGhandi trigger is handmade. Somebody sits there and modifies every part of the trigger by hand to adjust and optimize it even more and bring the trigger weight down to roughly 1/3 of the initial weight. The big advantage is a lowered risk of blasting your shot. You just think your shot and take it with minimal effort when moving your trigger finger the slightest bit, and the shot is triggered. The tuning kit is not a power tuning. The kit stays under 7.5 joule. It just optimizes the consistency quite a bit, even further than it was before, and it optimizes the shooting behavior, meaning the release time feels shorter and the recoil is lower. Overall, it just shoots better than before. I mentioned already, it's a nickel-plated HW30 S system. You can also have a bronzed version. I chose the nickel-plated system because it matches perfectly with the silver or gray-green plywood stock I chose. For the same reason I chose the silver aluminum trigger. There's also a golden brass trigger available, which matches better, in my opinion, with a walnut stock, for example. The gun comes with a 1/2-inch screw thread. I mounted a silencer. It's the Donny FL Koi. I chose this quite long silencer because it just looks good on this rifle. I also could have used a shorter one. The silencer also calms the whirling air behind the leaving pellet, which, at least that's what I imagine, also raises the precision. So why is the stock shaped the way it is right now? This stock is built to shoot from a standing position and for hunter field target shooting. That's why you see this hamster here, where I can rest the rifle on my fist. Another advantage of this hamster is you can see the hamster is connected to the stock in one specific place. This means the gun is less sensitive to my grip, no matter if I hold it in the front, the back, or if I rest it on my fist. The transfer from my holding grip to the stock happens right there, because it is connected right on top of the hamster. Without the hamster, I would have to hold the rifle at the front end of the stock or in the back sometimes, especially when I shoot hunter field target, because the position is just not comfortable and I have to adapt to the terrain. Now I always hold the gun at the hamster, and no matter how or where I grab the hamster, I am always connected to the stock at the same point with the same impact. If you want a thumb hold stock as a matter of taste, I found holding the rifle super comfortable here, but you could have pulled the grip down here, without the bridge on top. For me, the look of the rifle is very important. When I take it out of my safe, I just want to be happy, even if I just take it out for cleaning on a Sunday without shooting it. For me, it all belongs together. A simply functional gun that's just put together to shoot well, no matter the looks, it's just not my world. But we are all different and everybody can go their own way, of course. Next, it was important for me to have an adjustable cheek piece, no matter which mount height I'm using. I can set the cheek piece to the matching height to always look straight into the scope when resting my head on it. The butt plate is a PRS plate that I imported from the UK. With jabolo.de we are working on bringing these to the German market. Just sign up for the Jabolo newsletter where we inform about new products in our shop. The aluminum butt plate is absolutely great. It's also used by Daystate, for example. Both companies work close together. It is a PRS Gen 4 butt plate and soon to be found at jabolo.de. For the rest of the setup, I am using a one-piece Sportsmatch UK AOP56 mount. I'm using it because it is height adjustable, so we can create a forward tilt. Furthermore, I am using a Hawk scope. It's the Hawk Air Max Compact 3-12x40. I like it when the scope is not too big, so it doesn't get too heavy. With the short HW30 S, the glass shouldn't be more than 31, maybe 32 centimeters long. Otherwise it gets uncomfortable shooting it on a HW30 S. Well, this was another video about one of the extraordinary rifles I have owned over the time. Everybody who knows me, I often have them for half a year and then I sell them to have some money for the next project. Well, yeah, that's just who I am. This rifle should be in my safe to keep it forever. But I can't do this 2-3 times a year because at some point my bank account will run dry. This setup you are seeing here is worth a 4-digit price. But if you are not willing to accept the standard and want to optimize it to get the most out of it, it just costs a few more bucks. The information you can take away from this: the silencer on a spring piston rifle doesn't have a great effect loudness-wise, since most of the sound comes from the piston. But it calms the air walls behind the leaving pellet. Then there's the hamster. Of course, you can have custom-made hamsters for other rifles. You can find stock or grip builders online. For example, there's Thomas Rink from Rink Formgriffe. If you have a specific rifle that needs a hamster, he can help you out. We talked about adjustable butt plates. You'll be able to buy these for Weihrauch rifles soon at jabolo.de. And of course a compact scope for your HW30 S. Keep this in mind, maybe even stop at 30 centimeters length, and a Sportsmatch UK mount, in my opinion the best you can buy for air rifles, and that's why you also find them at jabolo.de. I showed you some close-ups, I told you why the rifle looks exactly the way it does, and I want to use the time to give my thanks to Tom again. Thanks a lot for your fantastic work. There is another custom stock for me in preparation already. And yeah, I will gladly wait another year because it will be awesome. So yeah, maybe in 12 to 18 months we'll have another video. Even if you can make use of this rifle now, I for my part love looking at beautiful unique setups, and I hope you had some fun and enjoyed looking at this one and maybe take away some helpful information for you. Yeah. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm wishing you all the best. See you next week again. Ciao, servus, says AirGhandi.